You're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network. Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Liz Eston.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Liz to like musical theatre. Welcome to our world of chocolate. Woo! Ookie spooky chocolate. You want some chocolate, little boy?
I would love some chocolate. I want some like magic flying chocolate if you have any, because I like flying uncontrollably into the air. I think that would be a really good thing to do after eating.
How about some gum that inflates you, and then you'll have to be squeezed to death?
Do you have anything with giraffe in it? Anything?
No,
any
but I do. But I did invite a teleporter that'll make you tiny, and then you'll die. And also, I can burn you alive in the nut pool.
Jeez, what movie did you watch? I just watched the one with the really ugly short guy.
You mean Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant. He is ugly.
And he's short in this movie. In case you haven't picked up, we're throwing down in our very effective and very readable little bit we do at the end. This week, we are talking about the brand new 2023 Paul King feature film, Wonka. Cue the music.
A world of your own, a place to escape to. A world of your own, where you can be free. Wherever you go, wherever life takes you, this is your home, a world of your own.
Wonka is a feature film written by Simon Fanaby and Paul King, with music and lyrics by Neil Hannon, with pure imagination by Leslie Bricusse and Anthony Newley, based on characters by Roald Dahl. It premiered on December 15, 2023, and the plot of Wonka is, armed with nothing but a hat full of dreams, young chocolatier Willy Wonka manages to change the world, one delectable bite at a time. So, we saw this in a movie theater. We all physically went into the theater, made eye contact with other human beings also seeing Wonka. I saw it in the largest screen in the United States, allegedly, according to their promos. It was a sold-out show. Liz, you were, like, not sold out at all, right?
No, I went alone after work because I ended my shift at 1 in the afternoon, so I went to a movie alone by myself. And the teenagers next to me were very excited about this movie, and I'm, like, sitting in my corner, like, why am I here?
Sounds like Andrew when he saw Cats on Christmas Day.
I saw Cats on Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Eve, I think.
Yes, all by
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm pretty sure it's Christmas Eve, yeah.
I did not waste my Christmas day at Cats. Thank fucking God.
You couldn't get the girlfriend to go with you?
No, that was not going to happen.
I
but did you take Becca to Wonka?
We did both go to Wonka, and I think we both have the same opinion of,
That's fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. Like, I think I'm going to be probably more positive than most people expect on this one, because there are things I really, really liked, but also nothing really, no new ground was broke, so it's just kind of like, oh, that was cute.
I feel like I'm like very mixed on this, but in a way where it's like, I liked a lot of stuff, but I can't believe they just didn't allow it to be good. You know?
Fucking what?
It's like they didn't let this movie be good because it was made in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, elaborate on that, please.
Yeah.
Did they make it woke? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. There was I saw people that weren't white, which
What?
I shudder to think. No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, dare they?
I think that the visuals were extremely ugly in like a lot of ways. Like everything is uncanny. Nothing looks right, especially the Oompa Loompa. Oh my God. Whenever he's on screen, it's just like staring into a nightmare. And the singing I really don't like being mean to singers, but I'm sorry, our lead was not trying in any song. Like, not one. There was no passion. There was no drive in the vocals. It was all just like, I'm gonna hit the pitch. I'm gonna try to hit the pitch. And it's just like,
as far
okay.
as the spectrum of not trying goes, where does it fall between like the Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman? Like, those are the two extremes you got.
Which one is trying too hard and which one's not trying hard enough?
Exactly.
It was definitely on that spectrum. It was above like Harrison Ford calling in to record his lines for Blade Runner, but it was below like, hey, I'm gonna actually try.
The thing is, he was very excited about this film, like Timothée Chalamet.
I think he does an excellent job everywhere where he's not singing.
I actually think his performance is really rough. I think
really, I thought he was having fun at the very least.
Yeah.
Everywhere where he wasn't singing.
Oh God!
Okay.
Like watching someone's Christmas videos like from 50 years ago. Yeah, they look like they're having fun. Doesn't mean I'm enjoying it.
Okay, well, when it's Willy Wonka, I feel like that is a level of the enjoyment. Is like,
I don't
were they
agree.
having fun doing this?
Do you think Gene Wilder was having fun making the original Willy Wonka? He had nothing but contempt for everyone else on screen.
And it comes through. It's in the performance.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Yeah, he doesn't care any of the kids die. You can tell. Augustus Gloop drowned. He's like, oh no, I'm so sad.
The climax of this film is him trying to save a child, which is completely out of character for Willy Wonka.
You know, on some level, you are correct about that.
Yeah, it does create the question of what happened between this movie and the 70s movie to, like, make Wonka hate kids. Like, did Noodle, like, tell him fuck off and die, and now he hates children?
I think it's
happened?
kind of explained here, though. Like, he gains respect for certain people, but at the start of this movie, he is very naive and has, like, a respect for everyone.
Yeah.
And his character arc is almost like losing respect for greedy fucks, which he maintains into what I guess we would call it a sequel.
Yeah.
A sort of now it's a follow up.
Yeah.
And like now he's still just he thinks that greedy fucks are awful.
Yeah.
I mean, we do kind of have to talk about the copyright stuff. You know, Jess's favorite portion of everything is when he talks about the legal technicalities of why movies get made.
Lawyer Jess here.
Here
we go.
Increase the speed, y'all.
So Warner Brothers owns the rights to the Willy Wonka film, not the Roald Dahl book, you see. So they own rights to their own intellectual property, which includes pure imagination, all the design choices, including the Oompa Loompas. But it does not own any copyright to the actual, book, the Roald Dahl book. So they couldn't reference anything outside of their own film. So all the visual styles, all the pieces, everything up to the way that Willy Wonka looks had to be based on the Gene Wilder film. And you can see that in here because I'm pretty sure Netflix owns the right to the entire Roald Dahl collection now, and they're working on their own Willy Wonka adaptation. So they've kind of cut off their own feet here to only tell a certain piece of the story. So they don't have Charlie. They have nothing aside from Willy Wonka, and they're designed for Oompa Loompas.
Okay.
So for
why
that creative barrier...
Is that why the Oompa Loompas don't look like the Oompa Loompas?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, why is this Oompa Loompa way smaller than the Oompa Loompas that were in the Gene Wilder one?
Because they use real actors for the Gene Wilder one, and here they used a CGI nightmare, so they can hire notable asshole and sex pest Hugh Grant to be in there.
Yeah, but according to Hugh Grant, that Oompa Loompa does have a butthole, and it exists, and it was sent to him by the animators.
Ah, thank you. I'm really glad that we know that.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks,
glad
Twitter.
Hugh Grant has nothing but contempt for his work, his audiences, and everyone around him.
Also, I do have a list of every Roald Dahl property Netflix now has the right to make as of 2018.
Right. Let's hear
which is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, the BFG, the Twits, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, George's Marvelous Medicine, Boy Tales of Childhood, Going Solo, The Enormous Crocodile, The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, Henry Sugar, which they already made. I think it has Adam Driver in it. I don't remember.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. Billy and the Min Pins, The Magic Finger, SEO Trot, Dirty Beasts, and Rhyme Stew.
You could have made some of those up, but I would have never known, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now we're gonna have a Roald Dahl cinematic universe, and it's
You're
gonna
not
be
wrong.
the worst thing, and we're gonna all hate it, and they're gonna make a shit ton of money, and they're gonna be like, "What's next?"
Yeah.
Do either of you know about the real Roald Dahl sequel book to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Great Glass?
elevator.
The Great Glass
Yeah.
Elevator, yeah.
Do you know what happens in it?
But don't they, like, go to
They
space?
go in the Great Glass elevator.
They go into space and meet aliens. It's like right after the first one, like, Charlie, you own my factory. Let's go to fucking space. And
Yeah.
Honestly, better sequel than anything that anyone else could have thought of.
Yeah,
because everyone just wants to go back to the fucking chocolate bullshit.
yeah.
Which I guess we do have to talk about the actual plot of this film. Andrew, give us that spiel.
Sure. Willy Wonka has been journeying around the world on a boat when we first see him, and he's ready to step into the world of having a chocolate factory or chocolate store, I guess is more of his dream right now. This takes place in a place. I think was the only thing we could really call it. Is there a
London
location?
style-ish place.
Yeah, it's unclear.
Yeah, it's like a London. We'll call it London, France. I think is the most accurate. So he shows up in London, and there's the famous chocolate thing where there's multiple chocolate stores and then one empty spot where Willy Wonka wants to open his chocolate store. And there's the competitors, Slugworth, and two others that they maybe made up or are maybe in the book. I don't know.
Prodnose and Fickelgruber. So
Prodnose
Matt
and
Lucas
Fickelgruber.
and that other guy.
I kind of hate that the bad guys are like the best part of the movie, though.
You do? Do you like the police officer who gets fat and unfuckable, and the joke is he's fat every time you see him because they keep giving him candy?
I think the joke is that he's fatter every time we see him, not necessarily just that he's fat.
The joke is fat guy, big old fat guy coming out the car, eat too much candy.
It's funny that he ate so much candy so quickly that he actually became very, very fat, very, very fast.
Do you think this is where Wonka found his disdain for people that eat so much that they get fat, that he's like, one day I'm going to put a little
Yes.
fat child in a tube?
Yeah, totally.
He wanted to drown. He wanted to drown a child at this moment. Okay, so this was Wonka loses all of his money because he's too generous. He's just too kind to everybody, which, you know, that's a big problem when you live in the real world.
Yeah.
So he ends up sleeping in the cold, but somebody comes along and is like, you know what? You can stay at our place. It's only going to cost you one measly coin, and you could pay us tomorrow. But also, he gets tricked. It's a trick. He owes them like $10 bazillion, and he has to work in their sweatshop.
We didn't explain why he gets tricked. It's because much like Annie 2014, Willy Wonka is unable to read. He does not have that skill. His skill ends at chocolate.
Yes, he is unable to read.
Which, why did we need that? I don't get that.
It's so that the girl has something to offer him.
She has a
Yeah,
lot
so
to
it's like
offer him already.
Yeah, but now she can like directly teach him something.
Yeah.
I guess. But in the end, he's reading full sentences because that's how that works. After not understanding
Yes.
the difference between consonants and vowels, full sentences.
It's whatever.
I know
It's
this
fine.
isn't a real.
This
This is a fake cartoony world we're living in. I get that.
Okay, so he decides he needs to sneak out to sell chocolate to pay off the thing to get out of the sweatshop. So he gets
as
the
you
help
do.
of this girl.
Noodle.
This girl who is named Noodle, but probably isn't actually named Noodle. Just there's a big reveal at the end, and we'll spoil it or whatever. But we're not going to spoil it yet.
That's what I said.
Andrew's got a lot of emotion for this movie.
Very, very much. So they sneak out. a couple times, and eventually they get a big chocolate ring going, and they get enough money to rent the store, but the bad guys are not having it. They make it so it's illegal for him to sell chocolate, and when he finally opens a store and they can't have it be illegal anymore because now he owns his own store, they poison all the chocolate with the help of the sweatshop owners. So he's totally screwed. He has to take this deal, and they trick him into getting on a boat where they're gonna kill him, and they're kidnap the girl because it turns out the girl Noodle is actually
Slugworth's niece's cousin's best friend's nephew or something.
Slugworth's
College
former
roommate.
roommate's son daughter.
Like, I think it's his brother's wife's kid.
Yeah, it's his brother's wife's kid, and he had his brother killed because something. Greed.
Greed will kill your brother.
Yep. And then, oh my goodness, they get locked in this chocolate vault, and the Oompa Loompa,
where's
who
this
we haven't
chocolate
mentioned
vault?
yet,
We should talk about where the chocolate vault is.
it is directly underneath the city.
No, it's underneath a Catholic church that is a guise for an entire chocolate ring underneath it because the church is corrupt by chocolate.
That is run by
Which
Mr.
that
Bean.
Yes.
It's one of the better gags
Yeah.
because it's Mr. Bean.
Yes, Mr. Bean
Mr. Bean's
is
funny.
wonderful. And honestly, if they had just made him Slugworth, I think I would have enjoyed this a lot more.
Yeah.
But they get locked in the chocolate vault, and they're going to drown in chocolate, but the Oompa Loompa, who we haven't mentioned yet because he hasn't been plot relevant really, shows up and saves them.
Deus Ex Machina, Oompa Loompa.
Yep, and then their crimes are revealed by the book of all the crimes they wrote down for some reason, and it ends.
Oh, with him taking the Oompa Loompa into indentured servitude. Don't forget that.
No, it seems like they're in a partnership, to be
Whimsical
fair. To be fair.
indentured servitude.
I don't know how he gets all the other Oompa Loompas. That one is a bit sketchy, but this first Oompa Loompa seems like maybe a partnership.
Yeah. And then the movie ends and he sings Pure Imagination and the audience eyes roll.
Honestly though, it sounds like the plot is really silly and whatever, but I feel like it's that type of movie where it's not supposed to be like a real world anything.
It's
this
very
is all
hype.
everything's supposed to be kind of silly. So that aspect of it is actually one that I liked. I like that the bad guys are just objectively evil and they like killing children. And they have a secret vault of chocolate underneath a church. That's funny. I think all of that is funny. Really where the movie kind of falls apart is anything that feels modern in it feels like shit. Anytime a visual effect shows up and it's this is clearly CGI, it's it just takes me out immediately.
Sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't. For example, things like the Oompa Loompa or the giraffe really took me out and made me uncomfortable.
Oh, the giraffe
That
and the
was
Oompa Loompa were the
horrendous.
worst.
However, I did get a little emotional when the little flamingos started flying because they learned how to fly. That was, I don't know why, that was just a visual idea that I'm that's fun.
I like that, but I kind of wish it wasn't foreshadowed and then paid off in the same exact scene.
I know, but it
Yeah.
looks so pretty and he's flying around on a balloon. I liked it.
But I really like the whimsy and that type of thing they were going for.
Yes.
And I feel like it's something I want to see more of, but it's hard for me to take it seriously when the way that the movie is made feels so cynical.
Yeah. The thing is, there's not things I hated. I think the things I appreciate about this film are not so much what's in it as opposed to what's not. There's no references to Twitter or references
thank
to
fucking
farts
God.
and shit like that.
That type of stuff would have made it a lot worse, and it is very good that they left that out. And honestly, even though there's definitely stuff that I don't like, and I really wish it was not there, it's actually not that bad. If you watch the trailer for this, you probably thought it looked like the biggest piece of shit that you'd ever see in your whole life.
The
which is
trailers
what I
are
thought,
much worse than the film itself.
which is what I thought.
Yes.
But then
yeah.
I actually watched it and I was like, oh, this was okay.
Do either of you
It's
like
cute.
the Paddington movies?
Never seen any of them.
I've never seen them.
Okay, they are both wonderful, done by the same director, same writers, basically. They are better for this kind of vibe because it is like an innocent coming in and affecting people's lives for the better. Whereas Wonka doesn't. The thing about Wonka, and we talked about this when we had Pushing Up Roses on for our Willy Wonka Trial in the Chocolate Factory musical talk, where we feel like the stage show went a little too dark with the narrative and it kind of ruined everything. I feel like this went so far the other direction where there's not an ounce of bite to this. There is not an ounce of spice to the chocolate, so it just kind of tastes bland.
I do agree with that, yeah.
Where I want more.
Like, there is hints at this, like, darkness to it, but it's always followed up with a joke. There's always, like, a haha. Like, the bad guys are very, very evil, but they're, like, comedically evil. They're not, like, they're never... Other than the one time where they're like, we're gonna drown you and a child, Wonka. That's the one time they're, like, actually evil. But
they do threaten to murder people a lot.
Yeah.
and we never really see it happen, though. And like the whole like them being in a literal sweatshop, like it doesn't feel as like dark and dingy as it really like should. It feels like more of like a gag,
Yeah, nothing ever feels at stake. And the rules are inconsistent. Like, they go to this dusty, rundown establishment that they're renting, and the next day they've got magical clouds and shit throughout it, and, like, I'm well and happy with fantastical rules that bend reality and all that. I just don't like it when it's inconsistent. Like, the thing I love about the original Willy Wonka film is it's kind of shot like a documentary for the first third of it, where it's, like, very grounded reality. Then you go into the Wonka factory and it's juxtaposed against this weird fantastical world with its own rules. Since we grounded the rules, the reactions of everyone in this new world is the same as us. Here, you take that factory logic and put it to the outside world where everything's supposed to be normal. It feels wrong to me.
I think what's not good about it is that Willy Wonka is supposed to be our like fish out of water character.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like Gandalf.
But Willy Wonka is a magical being who can just do anything, anytime, and just conjure like chocolate out of thin air and like all of this ridiculous stuff. And like he's supposed to be our guy that's like lost and doesn't understand the world. And it's like, it's weird. This is weird.
It reminds me a little bit of Doctor Who, where he just kind of wanders in from the wilderness and is this person with like a dubious backstory that you don't quite know of. There's supposed to be a little bit of darkness to him. If you had kind of played up like not knowing where he's from and things he might have done wrong in his past, I feel like that could have worked a bit better.
But we know a lot about his backstory because he goes into it quite a bit.
Got deep mommy issues.
Yeah, that's all Jess told me about after he
does.
was done watching it. I was seeing the movie as Jess asked me how hot was Sally Hawkins in the movie.
She is hot though. She's just barely in the movie.
Yeah, I said she's not in it enough so I can do the gauge of how hot she is.
Fucking hot chocolate. Okay, I get you.
Yes.
Jess is horny.
Jess is always horny for Sally Hawkins. I just want everything to make her as horny as The Shape of Water. Where in the first 3 minutes she's masturbating in a bathtub.
Can I do nitpicks before we do a mid show?
Yes, we
Hell
can. We
yeah.
also got Letterboxd too.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so just tiny nitpicks. These always annoy me. Whenever we do like one of these prequel things,
Which we do all the time.
everything needs to be explained.
Yes.
Like you can't ever go into like we can't not find out like
how we got the golden
anything.
ticket idea.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, where'd the golden ticket idea come from? Well, it has to be explained in this movie. It's like it's just a golden ticket. Like you don't need to get it from the mom. Like that's how she wrapped her chocolate. I don't know. Like and then the his cane always stands up. Like that happens in the first one, but I always thought that he just stuck his cane like
In the crack.
between some bricks or something,
Well,
and then did a forward roll.
It only happened.
But no.
It only happened once in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he just has a magic cane that anytime he puts it down, it always stands up by itself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's weird.
it's just like every tiny detail in the one that we know already has to be explained so that we always go, oh, that's where that came from. Oh my god, that's where that one came from. Oh my god.
I guess the cane works less now in 1974, but I'm not going to ask any further questions, so whatever.
Like I don't need to have a oh my god, that's where it came from moment. Just tell me a new fucking story.
That being said, we do that a lot with like visual cues, but we rarely use the filmmaking traits from those original pieces. We always update the filmmaking to be something where it will never feel of a piece with the original. If there's anything positive I can say about the Star Wars films, the new ones, and my number of nice things to say about them get less and less, they do feel of a part of them visually and using like practical, like original, like anamorphics from the 70s and things like that. Like they have that still kind of tactical feel. Nothing else has ever tried to replicate the filmmaking like that for their new version of XYZ.
This one they don't even give it like a
college
try.
I will say I want to add Blade Runner 2049 did. Blade Runner did a really good job of that.
Yeah, that was great.
I think that's the only one of all these like prequel movies that I've heard is actually good or or like late sequels or
Have
whatever.
Have you watched it yet?
I haven't, but I've heard it's good.
It's great.
It's good.
I enjoyed it.
I think it's great because honestly, you don't even need to watch the first one to watch it. It's like its own story, and it just has pieces. There's no like, remember that? Remember, it's like its own thing, and then the remember that's are kind of periphery.
I am just tired of let's do the same properties over and over and over again forever. But like, if we're gonna do that, can we please just stop doing the like, oh, that's where that came from, or oh, remember this? Oh, is like just I'm not like a baby who needs to have keys jingled in front of my face. Like,
well, aren't you?
Like, I'm already watching it. Of course, I remember it. I watched the first one. That's why I'm watching this one.
Andrew. I know things seem really dark right now, but you gotta look forward to the great films we have coming out next year. Like The Jungle Bunch, Operation Meltdown, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Kung Fu Panda 4, Dune Part 2, Rebel Moon Part 2, Godzilla vs. Kong, Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool 3, A Quiet Place, Day 1, Bad Boys 4, Inside Out 2, Captain America 4, Twisters, which is Twister 2, Venom 3, Despicable Me 4, Beetlejuice 2, Terrifier 3, Smile 2, Joker 2, Gladiator 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and the Karate Kid sequel.
Why is there a Karate Kid sequel? Why do we need more of those?
Like, did all the writers die?
Yeah.
Like, no one had any new
kind
ideas?
of.
Also, you forgot Smile 2 on that list?
Oh, I said Smile 2.
Oh, you did? Okay. That list was so long, I
Smile
probably
1
forgot.
was so good.
I mean, truly, one of the worst films I've ever seen is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
You saw it?
I did. I did not like it. It made me
I have
angry.
chosen to not watch any Ghostbuster movie beyond Ghostbusters 2.
Smart.
And I would recommend not watching any Ghostbusters movies beyond Ghostbusters 1.
Yeah.
I like Ghostbusters 2016. That is my hashtag weird opinion.
I like it
See,
too.
Jess does have bad taste sometimes.
If you've listened to the show up to this point, you would know it's more than sometimes.
Did you know he likes some of the Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Ooh.
His favorite is the holiday special.
I do love the holiday
That's my
special,
favorite.
though.
Stir, whip, stir. Stir, whip, stir. Come on, faster all together now. Cooking can be fun.
That being said, how about we compare our opinions to those of the real critics over on Letterboxd.com? It's time for a game of 1-star or 5-star. All right, Liz, how about you go first?
Okay.
All right. Where the hell did you get Yeti sweat?
5.
That is correct.
Because they were paying
All right,
attention.
Andrew.
Okay.
Hugh Grant bends over, grabs his ankles, and rips ass right at Willie.
That actually fucking
that does
happens. Oh
happen,
my
y'all.
god. I blocked that out. All the Oompa Loompa scenes I've completely blocked out of my mind.
I
but
think I
remember
love
that
yourself.
blacked out, honestly. I'm like, no. I don't want to.
It really can't be overstated how bad the Oompa Loompa scenes are.
Horrendous.
And he doesn't pop up a lot, but when he does, you can just feel your soul die a little bit.
Like you hear
You're
this,
just like, oh.
you hear the score to the Oompa Loompa sound, and you're like, oh no,
Bum,
oh no, he's
bum,
coming,
bum,
he's
bum.
coming.
Where is he? He's gonna be here soon.
Ah! And then he shows up on a jetpack, and you're like, oh, it's even worse than I thought it would be. Oh,
It genuinely would have been a better movie if he wasn't in it.
100%. Yeah. I would like it a lot better.
Okay, that is gonna be a 1-star for me, dog.
That is correct, dog. All right, Liz.
So tell me, bro. Tell me what it is.
Arf, 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 woof, woof.
Someone's horny. 5.
That is correct. Andrew,
Yes.
I want to swallow his gobstoppers and let him unleash his nougat on my face.
5 stars.
That is correct.
No, he's not that hot. Calm down.
Well, apparently this movie is giving girls the ick for Timothy Chalamet. Like, that is a thing going around on TikTok where as soon as, a man starts singing and dancing, it's like, ew, I don't think I'm attracted to him anymore.
Man, I didn't know girls had bad taste.
Yeah. I mean, we all do.
We all do. Andrew.
Did I?
Yeah,
Did I
Andrew
not
just
say
went.
that?
Oh, Liz.
Hello.
You found my mom? 2 sad faces, eyes, and a sadder face eyes.
1.
That is correct. Andrew.
Yep.
The chocolate cartel unfortunately did not slay Sparkles on both sides.
1.
That is a 5.
Fuck.
Because they wanted them to slay the children.
I know. I thought that's why he gave it a 1, because he wanted that to happen and it didn't.
Yeah.
Oh no. Liz.
Yes.
Didn't watch, but I curb stomped this fucking punk.
Okay. 1.
That is correct. Andrew.
Yes.
I'd want his Willie if he asked.
5.
Correct. Liz.
Yes.
Why is it full of twinks?
It is kind of full of twinks.
I don't have a good answer.
Hmm.
Rich Fulmer is the biggest twink of all.
This was probably written by a gay person, so 5.
1.
Damn it!
Andrew.
Yes.
Timothy Chocolate.
I see what they did there.
Yeah.
It's
Clever,
that's very
clever
funny.
wordplay.
Clever wordplay. That's gonna be a 5 stars. They loved it.
That's correct. And Liz,
Yeah.
last one just because it's the last one.
Might as
And
well.
who cares? We don't keep score here
Yeah.
between friends. They'll say it's chocolate, but I know it's poop.
I mean, the flying chocolate is probably poop. Let's be brutally honest with ourselves.
It's bugs.
Yeah, it's bugs.
He
It's
tells you it's
poop.
bugs.
It's definitely bug poop. Like, come on. That is a 5.
And that is a 1 star. And y'all basically tied it here. Speaking of tying it, tie me up and kick me in the balls, because let's go into a Midshow. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, man. Timothy Chalamet isn't here. We don't have to be horny.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got a shill out of you. Today's show is brought to you by the extremely kind donations by our donors over at Patreon. Andrew, what's going on at Patreon?
Oh man, Patreon is where you can go if you want to give us some money to help run the show, and also you get extra content. We have bonus episodes, we have full commentary tracks on some things. There's a lot going on over there. Also, you can recommend us shows to cover if you are the proper tier. So a lot of cool stuff.
And with sometime in the new year, going to keep this vague, you will have a lot more control on Patreon of what we'll be covering. So that is something to look very much forward to. And since me and Andrew's schedules are a little bit more consistent now, we're aiming to do a lot more of our Patreon meetups in the new year. So get onto the tier list and you can hang out with me, Andrew, and Liz, and have a good time. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Yeah, also we'll read your name. We read everyone's
Yeah.
name.
Yes, everyone's name gets read. In fact, you can change your name to anything, and we'll probably read it. Just try not to do
And
slurs,
sometimes
I
Jess
guess.
will do her horrible accent. You can hear your name in a very bad accent from Jess.
Oh, hi, I'm Willy Wonka, and I'm going to be reading your names today. So
I'm
listen
taking my
down
headphones
and turn down.
Yeah, I'm
because-
just gonna
turn
run
up.
away.
Because we've got some fundiferous names. In fact, I'm gonna scrum-diddly eyes every one of your names. No, I'm not. Today's show is brought to you by Melissa Goldman, Danielle Reddix, Justice Stampede and Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Nathaniel Stacy Coombe, Brent Black, Joseph Evans Green, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanellis, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Janae C, Scootin' the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Liz Lim, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Thesby Roger Benjamin, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Teacup, Chris Marcotte, Kiji Marie Anastasio, Trevi Joseph, Layla, RJ Noriga, Julia McLennan, the Bjorn Hermans, Toriana Fraser, Sammy the Adequate Amount Jacobson, Keely Blazier, Cinemageddon Reviews, Villainous Miss, Sophiana Ali, The Omega Geek, Paige Pearson, Maddie Wargle, Lisa Erdman, Anna Loskatova, Sarah Den Blekier, hey, they're watching now, Evan Ball, Zachary Torres, Aura Morasso, Mara Forloin, Lisa L, Possessed Washing Machine, Nick Roden, Puffy Boy, Julia Hardy, Sydney Hicks, Anna Bell, Billy Clifton, Andrew Wright, The Red Caboose Kaboom, Gold Plate and Kiki Mora, Julia Balders Dotier, and Rex. They give us money to help us keep the lights here on Musicals with Cheese if you'd like to join them and do a lot of fun shit, including hang out with us, listen to commentaries, and get your name read poorly every week. Come join us over here at our Patreon. All right, let's get back to the show. A Hatful of Dreams is our opening number to Wonka. For some, this was the first moment someone discovers this is a musical, because the marketing really tried to hide the fact that this was a musical.
Got a tattered overcoat and battered suitcase. Got a pair of leaky boots upon my feet. Gotta drug myself up by my one good bootlace. Gotta work my rotten socks off if I want to make ends meet. I've poured everything I've gotten to my chocolate. Now it's time to show the world my recipes. I've got 12 silver sovereigns in my pocket and a hat full of dreams. There's a famous restaurant on every street here. There's Brandino's and the Bar Parisien. Restaurant maps, thank you. Got a little map to tell me where to eat here. Had a dozen silver sovereigns, now I'm somehow down to 10. Want the finest produce, this is where they stock it.
That's 3 sovereigns, mate.
So the prices are suspiciously extreme.
Wait, how come can you pay for it?
I've got 5, 6, 7. 6 silver sovereigns in my pocket and a hat full of dreams.
I will say the one musical that was a success that they really kind of sold on the fact that it was a musical, actually 2, both of them had Hugh Jackman, Greatest Showman, very much sold the songs in their marketing, as well as Les Mis, which sold its entire movie on I Dreamed a Dream with Anne Hathaway. So I think that it's often a good idea to sell your songs if you're confident in them.
Man, it's almost like if your movie contains multiple musical numbers, that should be a selling point of the movie and not something you are trying to sneak in front of the audience.
I feel
Did
like
you see the recent article where they said studios are doing that because test audiences don't like musicals, so they're trying to appease test audiences by marketing to people? Because I know people that don't like musicals will be really happy to be tricked into seeing a musical.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, is it like it's genuinely just like we got your ticket already, haha?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Like, do they not understand that word of mouth exists, and if someone
Yeah.
gets tricked into watching a musical, they're gonna go tell all their friends not to watch it?
Also, in this case, isn't Timothée Chalamet singing like a selling point? Because people love that fucker. Like him singing for a whole movie, that would sell way more tickets. Like
No, apparently it gives girls the ick, according to TikTok.
Who are these test audiences? Can I
can
talk
I
to them?
meet them? Like, what's going on?
So test audiences are usually done in middle America. They try to do it as far from Hollywood as they possibly can. So it is often like Bible Belt kind of places.
Why are we letting them decide what people are gonna like?
That is a good question that I don't have an answer for. It's mostly just like they don't want people that are Hollywood savvy. They don't want people to be like, well, in the third act, like I feel like you hit your ending like notes a little bit there, and like at around right before the climax. Like they don't want people to talk like that. They want the average moviegoer and kind of need to go to other places because the world is now kind of too media literate.
But if you're trying to appeal to people who watch musicals, that's gonna be a crowd of people who, know what they like to some extent. I don't know.
I think no one's ever marketing to people that like musicals because it is kind of a niche market.
Yeah, then why are you making musicals? Hollywood?
That is the question.
Exactly.
Maybe just don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I think The Greatest Showman works because they marketed to the musical likers and they came out in droves, and word of mouth did that film so good.
I don't understand. I feel like modern studios are run by like just people who were born into it and have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Look at David Zaslav, the owner of WB and Wonka by extension.
All right, so A Hatful of Dreams.
Yeah, the Hatful of
Yes.
Dreams, the song.
The song
Honestly,
where
the song's
Willy
fine.
Wonka
I
gives
don't-
all his money away.
I don't really have a problem with this song other than that I do, and I said it before, but I do genuinely think that the Timothée Chalamet just does not feel like he's giving it his all in any song in the whole entire movie. Everything feels very half-assed from him.
The thing is, when he's performing, like physically doing the act of performing, like he's doing it for like the dances and all that. He's good. It's the
I
vocal
agree.
thing. It's
Yeah.
the pre-recorded vocals where he's just kind of half-assing it, and it's strange.
It's like they got him into a studio and they told him like, all right, this is like a rough draft, just kind of like hit the notes, and then they just released it.
Yeah.
But also, Gene Wilder was kind of half-assed in his singing voice. Like Pure Imagination, he does kind of feel like he's phoning it in, but it works for that song. He wouldn't do that if it weren't that song.
Yeah.
And we're not
Yeah.
playing Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka as much as the marketing tries to convince you that they are. This is very much a different kind of character.
Yeah, but
As far as
oh.
as far as the songwriting goes and the like everything else about the song, I actually feel like it's fine. I don't really have a problem with that.
Like, I can tell money was spent on this. Like, specifically in the bigger numbers, but everything felt like it had effort and planning and shot composition and, some production design. Doesn't hurt at all. Like, the sets that were built are really, really good. Let's talk about your favorite part of every musical, Andrew, the villain song, Sweet Tooth.
Well, now, I can see that you're a man of integrity. Thank you. But ask yourself this. Have you got a sweet tooth? I do. A hunger that you have to feed. Have you got a sweet tooth? I do. Well, we've got everything you need. Don't give me that conscience nonsense. It's simply quid pro quo. So, 100 of your favorites. Sorry, I'm afraid it's no.
I don't think the villain song is the best, but I do think it is fun that we have evil villains that just are greedy and evil, and they gave them a villain song. And you know what? That's already an improvement from so much of what we've been seeing as far as like family media goes.
Like, their villain song is significantly better than the villain song of Disney's Wish.
Yeah, well, Disney's Wish, I have not seen
Yeah, me.
because it looked so bad that we canceled our episode on it.
Yeah, we literally
Yes,
did
we did
something else
Mulan.
entirely.
We did Mulan because I'm like, that looks not good.
The rest of the movie we've
Which,
already
you
seen
know-
like 30 times collectively as a unit instead of Wish.
You know what?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something I loved instead of something that looked like it would be dog shit. I like the set design of their little space, their little demon space. I like all three designs of the villains. They remind me a lot of another Roald Dahl property, the Wes Anderson Fantastic Mr. Fox, the Bogus Bunsen Bean kind of
yeah.
characteristics. They gave me big vibes of that. I liked it, but also the song isn't great.
I love the chief not wanting to go along with it, but being convinced because he just loves fucking chocolate
Yeah,
so
he
goddamn
loves
much.
chocolate. He's just,
And they're indulging him. He has like a meth addiction to chocolate.
he really does.
Keegan Michael Key does a good job, I think, even though they do put him into a big fat suit and make him a fat
like
joke.
different fat suits. It evolves throughout the movie. Like, oh god.
We don't talk enough about Keegan-Michael Key's musical, cinematic, and television universe. That man just wants to sing and dance so badly, and aside from Schmigadoon, they don't really give him a lead.
Yeah. I mean, the prom, they like had him sit in a booth and sing. They didn't let him dance. Like,
Nope,
come
he was not
on.
allowed to have any fun in any of these, including this one. He's not fun to be around.
He has like funny moments,
Yeah.
but one, he's not in it like enough to do that, and his main joke is always just,
Fat.
"Haha, he's in a bigger fat suit now.
Haha, funny joke.
Look he's even fatter than last time you saw him."
Look, he now has chin
Oh.
prosthetics. Yay, he's so fat.
Like
He's such
they
a
just
fat fuck.
they don't let him dance or sing or nothing.
He gets
Jingle
stuck in a
Jangle
car.
might be
That's
Jingle
it.
Jangle might be the only time they actually give him fun things to do in a musical.
Yeah. And we didn't even
Um,
finish that because we like forgot season 2 existed because our schedules got fucked.
Yeah.
So-
And then The Lion King, most people forget he was in that remake.
Wait, who was he?
He was one of the hyenas.
Oh, it was a hyena. Okay, that's why I didn't care.
Truly, what a man that just wants to sing and dance, but they won't let him. I say, let him be the lead. He should have been in The Color Purple or some other thing. He's not bad when he does serious work. So maybe we should let him do it more often than ever.
Yeah.
His partner, Jordan Peele, did that, and look at him. He's now the one good director we've got left. Let's talk about, for a moment, I see a trend on TikTok where they say, as soon as you see the song happen with the draft, you go to the bathroom, and I think people are wrong.
I wanted to stay in the theater during that song. I was in it. I was into that one.
So cute.
Noodle, noodle, apple strudel. Some people don't and some people doodle. Snakes, flamingos, bears, and poodles. Singing this song will improve your moodle. Noodle-dee-dee, noodle-dee-dum. We're having oodles and oodles of fun.
For a moment,
Noodle, noodle,
my life has turned upside
some people don't and some people do. Snakes, flamingos,
I can't
bears,
keep my
and
feet on the
poodles. Singing this
ground.
song will improve your mood.
He's so
Noodle-dee-dee, noodle-dee-dum.
That's
We're having
whatever
oodles and
happens to me.
oodles of fun.
There's other moments where you should go to the bathroom, and
Like-
it's when you see the Oompa Loompa
Yeah,
show
when you see
up.
the Oompa Loompa run to pee and then come back.
Yeah, by the time you come back, it still won't have ended.
Yeah, because it's like 3 hours long.
I like the scene. I like Kayla Lane, who plays Noodle. I think she's a great. Honestly, I think she's more of a charismatic presence than Chalamet throughout most of this film.
I think she does a very, very good job. The giraffe though is horrific.
The
Yeah,
giraffe
I
is
don't
very
like the giraffe.
distracting.
I don't like that they brought the giraffe back either.
Yeah.
I watched a movie the other day called The Brothers Bloom from Rian Johnson, and that has very real draft throughout it, doing weird things like drinking booze, quote unquote. And I'm like, man, that's a real giraffe. I'm glad they had a real giraffe. And then I saw this right afterwards. I'm like, wish they had a real giraffe. I know animal safety is important, I guess, but
Well, then maybe don't write that you need a giraffe
Yeah.
for your movie.
Yeah.
You don't have to add a giraffe to your
Like,
movie.
the giraffe, I thought it was a funny joke, and then became a plot point by the end of it. It's like, why is the giraffe a plot point? Like,
you need giraffe milk.
I know, but like, it's the heist part of the movie where the giraffe is a integral part to getting them in the church. Like, why is the giraffe the distraction?
Yeah,
Could
I'm
have been
not a
anything
fan of it.
else.
It could have been so many
It could have been
things.
so
Also,
many
the,
things.
Chocolate. It could have been a chocolate giraffe.
It could have been like
I-
a secret drug chocolate, like the guard at the zoo joke. Just keep that joke going.
Okay, we didn't bring that up. I love the guard at the zoo joke and the fact that his romantic interest was a guard at the fucking chocolatier like dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, I had this wild theory that I don't think actually makes any sense, and it's based on something that's probably not true.
Great, I
But-
love preambles
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, it was that the security guard at the zoo was supposed to be Charlie's grandfather somehow.
I love that theory. Hell yeah. That makes sense.
No, he's not in
It
a
doesn't
bed.
make any sense.
He's not in a bed. No.
No, well, he's young. This is him
This
when
is
he's
him
young.
when he's young. Yeah. He's a young man. He hates working.
Okay, fine.
And I mean, Willy Wonka, maybe like age-wise doesn't make sense, but Willy Wonka lives forever. I mean, he's like literally like a demon or something.
Yeah, he's an
I don't
ageless
know.
being with like magical powers. I don't know what the fuck.
Drinking the blood of children, and putting it into
guess.
chocolate.
He has a magical chocolate
True.
making machine. I don't know.
Yeah. For a moment, it's a cute song. I like the balloons. I like the flamingos flying.
I like the noodle apple strudel. It got stuck in my head for like 2 days.
It did too. I'm a little weirded out at Timothy Chalamet slow dancing with a child, but maybe that's a me thing.
No, I hated it too. I hated it too. You know.
I think if you're slow dancing with a child, unless they're standing on your feet, it's not cute. And that's the end of my child slow dance rant. Let's talk about the big fucking Oliver Scrooge number. You've never had chocolates like this, where I could see the entire budget and all the extras, and it's so choreographed and it's wonderful. Probably my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Well, there's chocolate, and there's chocolate. Only Wonka's makes your confidence skyrocket. Put your hand into your pocket, get yourself some Wonka chocolate.
Madam, just one kiss.
Yes, please.
You've never had chocolate like this.
Have you tried his new one?
No.
Oh, you got to have a go.
Just pop one in and everything becomes a Broadway show.
The news that makes you gasp, the jokes that make you laugh. All that you say and do all day will be choreographed.
Lost your hair, can't think where, feeling fairly bare up there. Don't despair, I come prepared, behold my hair repair eclair. It's made from ground vanilla, from the markets of Manila. Take heed, eat more than 3 and you'll end up like a gorilla.
Well, there's chocolate, and there's chocolate. Only one that makes you walk around the chocolate. Put your hand into your pocket, get yourself.
Oh, put a sock in it. Make sure they're all frisked. Have you ever had chocolate like this? I've never had chocolate like this.
This is probably the best song. This is
Definitely
maybe
the
the one
best
where he's
sequence.
putting the most effort in.
Yeah.
And also it's more than just him singing, I think.
Mhm.
There's actual dancing. That, like, he
Yeah,
actually
and
does.
there's actual dancing.
And well edited dancing and well shot and well put together, and it builds and builds in a way where you're visually always kept in line of what you're supposed to be seeing.
I like that they like frame it around this like mini story of like the guy's like doesn't have enough confidence to get married.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. It was cute.
And like that's like a fun way to like do a song number like this where it's like it's telling the bigger story, but also it has this like little story in it that's like a character we don't see again really. So that's fun.
It reminded me so much, and it might just be because holiday seasons and we're watching all these movies. Thank You Very Much from Scrooge with Albert Finney, which we covered with Emily Clark and her brother a few years ago.
Yes.
It gave big that energy where it just kept getting bigger and the sets got more filled with extras and everyone knew the dance and it was just so wonderful. I want more of this. Give me more of this, movies.
Honestly, this sequence felt like, oh my god, they're like doing something cool.
Yeah.
Like there's it's like a bunch of different set pieces that all get like he's selling chocolate to a lot of people, and then it all gets interrupted by the cops, and he like books it out of there in like different creative ways, and it's just like, wow, they did a thing.
They did the thing.
For 5 minutes of this movie, there was nowhere else I would have rather been. Like that's kind of how I describe it.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's like, if that whole movie was like that, this would be a perfect movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I tell everyone to go see it.
But then they followed up with the introduction of the fucking Oompa Loompa.
Oh my god, we're not going to talk about the Oompa Loompa song. It's just the Oompa Loompa song. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sucks.
They sing it twice. It's fucking awful.
It's the Oompa Loompa song. Remember the Oompa Loompa song? They sing the Oompa Loompa song. Oh my god,
Oh my
wow.
god. Remember the original movie? Remember the original? Never seen it.
He's so small. It's Hugh Grant. Remember when he found a prostitute or something? I don't remember. He went on Jay Leno and made it all better. Jay Leno saved the day.
How about A World of Your
Yeah,
Own, where
how about-
like, they open the shop?
The song's fine. It really is kind of a less impressive version of You've Never Had Chocolate Like This.
Yeah.
It's
I
like a CG
completely
nightmare.
agree. It's a CG nightmare for one, because they couldn't build an actual set or something. I don't even know. And for two, it feels like it's just a lower energy version of You've Never Had Chocolate Like This.
Yeah.
Like energy in the toilet, like, you know, come on.
And also, I'm just not impressed by the candy. I don't think they're very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They borrow a lot of stuff from the first movie with the chocolate flowers and like the edible mushroom cream thing, and it's like cute. I saw the first one. Come up with something else. Like
You've Never Had Chocolate Like This had a lot of creative like ideas and things for chocolate, like Broadway chocolate and Confidence chocolate.
those like
and
giraffe milk macaroon. They're macaroons. Yeah, they're macaroons.
Yeah.
That looked really flat, by the way. They did not look like good macaroons, but I'm not going to get into that.
No.
I watched a lot of baking shows.
What do you think Paul would have rated them?
I think Paul would have been like, they're a little too chewy and they taste a little bit too sweet.
Then he went flying into the sun.
Yeah, but he would have said they looked great and you did an okay job decorating them.
And then Matt Lucas had been like, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Because he's also a judge of that fucking show. Can I talk briefly about Pure Imagination?
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it.
I could go on for an hour about this.
I really hate that they felt the need to put this in here. And I hate the fact that they made it a young adult rock version of it.
Oh my god.
I hate when they do like this thing where they like take a song that you know and have nostalgia for and then slow it down and put it on a piano.
It's horrendous.
I fucking hate that.
It's so bad.
Like come on.
First of all, it's
just do. If you're gonna do the song, just do the song.
First of all, it's
But,
too
like,
slow at the beginning. Like, it's way too slow. Then it picks up too fast immediately after. I'm like, come on.
Yes, I would have almost preferred a slow kind of beat or a piano version, but no.
No, we had to do the pace of the original, I guess. Ugh.
I feel like Pure Imagination, they should have just had it be a score piece.
Yeah.
Which they did.
If they're gonna include it.
A lot. And it was
which
good,
they-
and I liked it.
Yeah, they didn't need to include it at all, but having it as a score piece is perfect. You don't need to like redo it. It doesn't need to be here. Just like the Oompa Loompa song doesn't need to be here, and just like the Oompa Loompa doesn't need to be here at all. Actually, we could have made the entire movie without the Oompa Loompa, and
Especially
it would have been better.
because of the connection to Oompa Loompas and what they were in the original form of the book before, getting rewritten to be less racist.
Yeah,
They were just like pygmies in Wonka's own words.
yeah.
And then the movie made them Oompa Loompas, and he changed it later because he's like, fine, I won't be as racist anymore.
And now he accidentally got their attention. He didn't even know that they were there.
No.
Instead of like he showed up and kidnapped all of them to do work for him.
Yeah. Even though I'm pretty sure the canon in the book is that Loompa Land is full of cocoa beans, so I guess they just rewrote it that Loompa Land has a very limited number of cocoa beans. So, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So, don't take my word for that. So, you can cut that out, Andrew, if
Well,
it's wrong.
why would they be good at making chocolate if it wasn't full of cocoa beans?
Yeah, solid point. Yeah.
So, according to the Tim Burton film, they were paid in cocoa beans because they had an addiction to it.
Oh, so it's
Jesus
like the
Christ.
police chief thing. Okay, it's all connected.
Yes. So he paid them in like their addiction. Like, here's a little meth for you, little Loompa boy.
Would you like some crack?
Oh, that's nice. Would if I got some crack, would you share it with the table?
Well, also at the end of the movie, like the 2023 one, Wonka's like, hey, do you want to work with me? I'll pay you in chocolate. Like, not living wages, but food. Still. Like,
Well, obviously, living wages doesn't matter much in this universe because Wonka can like buy a fucking thing in 5 seconds.
that's true. That's true. But still doesn't fix the problem of paying them in cocoa beans from
Nope,
the original.
Also, in this world, apparently poverty doesn't exist, which makes it really confusing by the time we get to like Charlie's for grandparents to a bed, poverty-stricken
How does
existence.
poverty not exist?
Yeah.
Willy Wonka spends the whole movie in indentured servitude.
Yeah, literally.
because he couldn't read.
Yeah, because he couldn't read his giant contract, which is made to not be able to read even when you're not illiterate. So
That's what Willy Wonka learned for his movie, to make a horrible contract where he's allowed to murder your child. He took it one step up.
I think we need to finish our conversation with Wonka because we're already almost at the length that the fucking movie's at.
Yeah.
That's fair. Kids, what is our overall thoughts on Wonka 2023 and our cheese rating? Andrew, why don't you start us off?
Oh man, Wonka, I have mixed opinions on. On one hand, there's like a lot of elements that I liked that I like. Just the "you've never had chocolate like this" scene is like a lot of the stuff that's good, but there's stuff like that scattered throughout the movie. The problem is that there's also just horrifically ugly CG and a lot of just kind of cringe moments that are like, oh, remember this, remember this, remember this. And I just can't recommend it because there's just too much not good stuff. Even though it's not like a bad movie, there's too much stuff that I don't want to recommend it necessarily. I gotta give it chocolate cheese though. Jess sent me some fucking chocolate cheese. It's
You're right.
just fudge. It just tastes like fudge. But I have to give it chocolate cheese because it's Willy Wonka.
Yo, where's my chocolate cheese?
This was 5 years ago. We
Okay.
were babies. It's not
Okay.
like I did it a week ago.
That's true. My bad.
Because he gave me I did it out of basically spite because he gave me such shit about like giving chocolate cheese to Wicked or something. And he's like, that's not a real cheese. I'm like, bitch, I'll send it to you. And he ate it on the air.
That sounds pretty on point. Yeah. Pretty on point.
It tastes like fudge. It's
Yeah.
literally just fudge.
But what was it called, Andrew? Chocolate cheese.
It was called chocolate cheese. I can't say it wasn't.
All right.
All right, Liz.
Hi. Yeah. I'm like Andrew. I'm kind of mixed. I enjoyed parts of it. It's cute. There's like the chocolate scene we talked about. It's really well done. I like this, despite the weird CG. I like the draft song kind of. It's weird, but like Timmy's barely present in like a quarter of it. Like the songs are mixed. it feels like the 70s version spat out through like 60 filters of corporate America. Like, it's weird. I would recommend it if it was on Max and you had an afternoon to watch it and you had kids. Like, I would recommend going to a theater to this. Like, watch it on streaming with your kids in the comfort of your home. Like, that's where I'd recommend this. So I'm going to give this movie a gummy pizza. One of those weird gummy pizzas you give your kids when you're at New Jersey candy shops. They're weird, they taste odd, but they're cute. So
That's fair. I think this is fine. This is the most fine thing that's just fine, and you're not going to be offended, but also you're not going to have... It's like a rice cake, you know? You're not going to get much nutritional value, but it's also not going to give you a bellyache. I am giving this Moro Formaggio, Ubriacano Pinot Rosé, which is made by Sergio Moro, as he is declared the Willy Wonka of cheese. I have won the game of musicals to cheese today.
is this a game?
Well done.
Everything's a game.
It's always
Liz.
been
It's
a game.
always kind of a game, yeah. But Jess always kind of grabs it.
You know what? Come with me, and you'll be in a world of closing remarks. Thank you for listening, and we're so glad you stuck with us through this year. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Musicals with Cheese. We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals, Patreon Musicals with Cheese, Instagram Musicals with Cheese, YouTube page Musicals with Cheese, Patreon only podcast, Patreon with Cheese. Email us at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. This show is edited by the one and only Andrew DeWolf. Our themes were created by Robyn, Nash of IOU Music UK. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform and for not kicking us off for the Saltburn talk. Hey, you don't understand that? You're going to have to join the Patreon to figure out what we talked about with Saltburn. It's like we can't probably put in a real episode, though, so go to Patreon for all that full discussion. All right, anything else we have left to say?
Eat some fucking chocolate.
Go eat
Yeah,
chocolate.
I know we're a cheese show, but chocolate is fucking tasty as hell too.
I agree. Chocolate chip cookies sound really good right now.
This one good.
All right, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese. I got it. Noodle, noodle, apple strudel. Some people don't, and some people doodle. Snakes, flamingos, bears, and poodles. Singing this song will improve your moodle. Noodle dee dee, moodle dee dum. We're having oodles and oodles of fun.